honestly, this really didn't surprise me so much because rates had already went up. I didn't know that they had spiked again. They had went up during COVID, and a little bit after COVID, and then it kind of like stabilized a little bit, which you know the rates were still kind of high, but they had kind of went down just a tad bit. But I didn't know they spiked up again. So it just says car repossessions has surged in the U.S. during the first half of 2024 as more borrowers fall behind on their auto loans. Repos have gone up by 23% compared to the same time period last year, according to the automotive industry. This unusually high number of repos in America is due in part to interest rates and inflation. Of course, we knew that already, pushing monthly car payments to a near record highs this year. Okay, so it's a ripple effect when you start talking about that, because a lot of people don't know this, but well, I won't say a lot of people don't know this, but people don't really pay attention to the signs that when car repossession rates are up, that's a recipe for disaster, because that lets you know the economy is not doing good. The economy is not very healthy, in a healthy state, because more people are not willing to spend more money at that point. Also, it puts a tighter grip on the banking industry as far as loans go, because banks will increase their standards on loans. That's a fact. When they look at the market, when these banks look at the market, whether it's the housing market, the automotive market, anything that's dealing with high substantial loans, they look at the repossession rates, they will increase loan standards. It'll be tougher. The interest rates are going to stay high regardless anyway. That's just to protect them and for them to make their money on the back end. Interest rates are going to be high regardless. So it also puts a financial strain on the banks as well as the economy. And guess what else it affects? The housing market, as I just said, because banks will increase the loan standards. That's just a fact. The auto industry will take a hit, obviously, because if cars are getting repossessed, what is now on the market? What is now more on the market that automotive companies don't want on the market? Used cars. Used cars. So if you got a lot of used cars on the market, what does that tell you? The value has gone down. So that means in the process, along the way, some people lost money on the back end. That's just the fact. So once this ripple effect starts to take its course, it's kind of hard to really get back on course. It's really kind of hard. And it also affects the new car industry, like newer vehicles that's on the market. It affects that because if people can't pay for these older cars, what makes you think people can pay for these newer cars? And if loans are tighter, cars are just going to be sitting, bro. Cars are just going to be sitting. That's just the fact. And if cars are sitting, not being sold, who does that affect? Take a wild guess. Who does that affect? I'll tell you. Investors. It affects investors. And if it affects investors, what do they do? Not invest. And if investors not investing, well, this kind of go hand in hand. But obviously, the company, whatever company is in the middle between the consumer and the investor, they not making money either. Well, they're making money, but profits would just be a lot lower. Profits will drop drastically, bro. So this spike is very interesting as far as going into the presidential election. It's a lot going on right now. I mean, I feel like people need to know what's going on. It really hurts the economy in a negative way. Living expenses is high, man. People lose cars. They can't go to work. I mean, shit. Public transportation sucks. Oh, man. And you know what's so crazy, bro? I was a part of that. That, you know what I mean? I had a car repossessed before, bro. I just couldn't keep. And honestly, it wasn't even repossessed. I just gave it back To be honest, like it wasn't like a repossession. I gave it back, bro. Like, yeah, I can't do it. It's over with. And it wasn't even like people. It wasn't even me living above my means either. Like it was just, I just didn't account for at that time. I didn't account for things increasing, prices increasing, and within my living expenses. But that's crazy. And when things like this happen, you'll get a lot of people that say, "Well, be responsible, pay your bills, people." And it's like, no, it's not that people not paying their bills or don't want to pay their bills. It's just that they just can't keep up. The money that they're making just can't keep up with the increase of expenses. I think that's all it is. Now, is it a case where a lot of people live above their means? That is a fact. A lot of people live well above their means, bro. That's just a fact. Let's get through this article and we'll just touch on points. I just want to get through this article. The rate of repossession is so high right now that it's blown past pre-pandemic levels and it increased by 14% compared to the first half of 2019. Repos have fallen during the global pandemic as lenders became more lenient in light of the situation and stimulus checks from the federal government beyond buyer incomes. That is insane. It increased by 14% compared to the first half of 2019, which was pre-pandemic level. That is crazy. And everybody remember the pandemic, man. That was insane. I mean, what does this force them to do? I think it forces the banks. To not be as tight. To be honest, I know they would, it's the opposite of what I said, what I think they would do, but you have to lower interest rates. Things have to get lowered, bro. Like, there's no way things can stay the same and expect the economy to stay healthy. Things have to go down, bro. Like, expenses have to go down. Like, what? There's no way they could say, okay, this is great for us if companies are not making a profit. How much of a profit does these greedy bastards want? I saw an article once, this was maybe a couple months ago, that companies saw a 200% increase in profits due to the previous years I think 3 or 4 years. And I was like, that is insane. They're making all this profit. I mean, wages increase. I mean, I don't know, man. It is insane to me. But it says, let's read the next paragraph. But lenders are repeatedly less tolerant of late payments now that the pandemic has abated. Yeah, abated. And the former widespread policy of repossessions being triggered by 3 months of missed payments seems to be in full effect. Auto News cites data from Cox Automotive, which says these unprecedented numbers of repos are also due to high interest rates and inflation in the U.S. Okay, we just touched on that. We knew that already. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Interest rates and inflation. We knew that. We knew that already. I think this is important. The average. What was the average before? You know what I mean? The average interest rates for new car loans are at 7.3% right now. Okay, that's just right now. Damn, that's the average, because I know people with some higher than that. While the average for used car loans is sitting at 11.5. Okay, the rates result in average monthly payments about. Who's paying $740 for a car payment a month? Who's paying that? What the fuck? I wouldn't dare touch that. Are you crazy? What? $550 for a used car? What? People are signing these contracts? What? Oh my God. Okay, the next paragraph is just about interest rates and inflation. We knew that already. But anyway, oh my God. I didn't know people were paying that much for car payments a month. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell when I drop, and the algorithm. I'm out. Peace.